As we load again, we get rid of Marine Lord's name here. And we're going to be kicking things off to the bottom left side of Galactic Process. It is going to be that Red Protoss player representing Rai Esports. Guys, let's hear it if you're going to be cheering on Jieshi. And to the upper right is going to be our Blue Terran player from X Team. It is time. Again, the 16-year-old here looking to try, both of these players looking to try and win their first map of the day. Get their first bit of prize money in the bank. Every single map is worth money here in this event. Roddy sub, does that mean he's going to win a big event in the future? I think this Wardy Blessing thing is a thing, man. Again, if you guys missed it yesterday, I figured out why, how people have been winning events. Holston, Nurture, and Ufilmer, the last three players to kind of win big events, all subscribers to the stream. Scarlett then decided to subscribe yesterday. She wants a bit of the Wardy Blessing as well. I think it's happening, guys. I think it's a real thing. The dream is alive, I believe. The Wardy Blessing. As we see this probe coming in, we're going to have a little bit of a look around to see what's going on. It is a gas first opening out of time. Now, whether this is just going to be a gas first into like a fast Reaper expand or so, as that SCV gets very low. Whether it's the gas first Reaper expand or whether it's going to be that gas first for factory, that's what we're going to be seeing here in a moment. Reaper on the way, so it is just that Reaper expand. And that generally does mean that we're going to have a very fast factory on the way up anyway. That's still what the gas first gives you, but it still is with the fast expansion as well. So it delays your expansion by a few seconds to get a very fast factory-based follow-up for some aggression in the early stages of the game. So the bottom left-hand side we see Jieshi. He started up a Nexus over here, and we are going to be seeing his Cybernex core on the way as well. It's a very standard opening from our Protoss player, who, again, because he lost that probe, doesn't get too much information about the exact timings of what this is going to be. Didn't see if it was going to be an immediate factory building. Doesn't know about whether there's an expansion or not just yet. And so Jieshi might have to kind of over-prepare in case this is a super fast sort of gas first play with kind of Hellions or something, just in case, because he doesn't know exactly just yet. As we're going to be seeing that probe. It's coming down to the low ground here, just getting ready to go. So I'm going to do this classic engineering bay block over here on the natural. Again, for a long time, I really didn't feel this did very much, but the more I see it, the more success I see out of it. Mostly because Protoss players seem, for some reason, to be very reluctant to just change their location of their rally point, which messes them up a bit, but also because it brings units away. I think this is the main thing. It forces these units to come to the side to work their way through the engineering bay to kind of clean this out, and that gives the Reaper more chance to get into the main base untouched and to actually pick up information straight away here into the main time goes, and boom, he spots himself a robot facility, might even get a worker kill. As he loops back around, he's going to go for it, comes very close, he's still going to get one, no he doesn't, not in the end, so time a little bit missed micro there perhaps, as that engineering base still being targeted down. Why don't you just change the rally? It really bothers me. Why doesn't he change the rally point to one of these other mineral patches that isn't affected by the engineering bay? It would help him so much for just a little while longer. It really bothers me. Every single Protoss player fails to do this. Every single time. It's incredible. I really don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Anyway, we see this Stalker continuing to work its way through this engineering bay. A couple of Hellions coming across the map from time, so very similar build to what Marine Lord did against Jieshi on this map as well. In fact, the exact same build if I'm not mistaken. So far, Jieshi has not taken as much damage as he did against Marine Lord. 3 workers still going down, though, still a lot. He lost 1 worker to the Reaper as well previously. He's actually lost 5 in total, so 5 workers going down in overall here. And that is... so he lost 11 workers against Marine Lord, 5 here against Time. So Time doesn't do as much, but still sort of sets up in a similar way. There's the Cyclone coming out now, Stim is on the way, and the Starport starts up, so we're actually going to line up here quite nicely for 2 medevacs with Stim. So it's going to be pretty nice timing here that Time has with his first 2 medevacs. He should have like a 60 Marine drop setting up as he starts an engineering bay up behind the natural expansion. So we're going to be seeing that engineering bay on the way up as well for some safety. 2 more gates being added here. That's actually the first 2 gateways we've seen being added, so going to see him going up to 3 gates. There's that blink starting up. Jieshi going for the similar build to what we saw from him earlier. Just blink while he wants to try and head in towards the 3rd base and whatever else. Jieshi's biggest problem so far, I think, is that he just keeps taking damage so early in the game to the Terran players that he never seems to get comfortably into his mid-game. And that's something that he might just want to try and work on here as we see the starport lifting. He will spot that too, so he has a very good idea, Jieshi, about the sort of timing that's coming his way as he sees that starport landing on, so he'll have a perfect kind of look to see or scout on the timing of those medevacs, which of course helps. You're going to see those 2 medevacs on the way up, as we're going to be seeing the observer or 2 just spread out onto the map. Obviously some good map control being established here thanks to that early robotics facility. A few stalkers moving out now as well to start putting on a little bit of pressure, so we'll see what exactly Jieshi can get done with this. He's also adding on that warp prism now as well. So warp prism on the way out to help kind of with this aggression, reinforce it a little bit, and the third nexus dropping down. The most common way to follow this up from Yishi's point of view is probably to go in towards the resonant enclaves after this, go in towards this sort of setup which allows Jieshi to, well, basically sort of just continue to kind of go into kind of a big gateway kind of play. These stalkers don't have blink just yet, so they are taking quite a lot of damage, and the stim will come in as well. He's going to catch a lot of these stalkers. Jieshi has been a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too early here. Whether his blink was delayed because of that opening or what, whatever it is, he's going to lose so much. All but 2 stalkers are going to go down, and these 2 stalkers, they took some damage as well. One of them very, very low here, and the other one is still recovering. I was going to see an observer moving forward, so Jieshi just going to look overhead on top of these units as Marine Lord has again not started his combat shield's just finished. So combat shield's finished. I was going to say, has he forgotten combat shields again? But it's just me being blind as we see him trying to find a location to push into. Lifts up that Cyclone to keep it safe right there. He is going to take down another Stalker or 2. The blinks back are a little bit better this time. Obviously, having blink definitely helps with trying to blink backwards and keep those Stalkers alive. As we're going to be seeing the Stalkers trying to push forwards once again. Another overcharge to buy time. And the Stalkers just trying to use their range here and the kind of positioning of the overcharge just to pick away at this Terran army. So time doesn't get too much done with this. Back at home, 4th and 5th racks on the way up. No sign of a 3rd command center yet, suggesting that our Terran player will commit in towards the 2 bases for a long time, and really will sort of commit to a position here where he really wants to just keep on getting damage done. Continue to trade with these Stalkers is a good way of starting that off, as we're going to see another one going down. He did blink back, but just didn't then pull away soon enough. As we're going to be seeing more units continue to come out here. Time continue to gather everything together and still just being aggressive. And I mean, Resonant Enclaves now on the way. There's only a couple of adepts out right now, so not too much tanking available. Again, we see Time in a position here where he's just sort of positioned just to the side of this overcharge as the Widowmine is cleaning up the mothership core. That's huge as well. Still there, the pylon is overcharged though, and will continue to defend for a few moments longer. But as that overcharge dissipates, we're going to see the attack in. We're going to see not too many units really left over here any longer for the Terran player. Widowmines are burrowed underneath this army when they come off cooldown. Nice micro on the Cyclone as well, still keeping that alive. Another Widowmine moving forwards. Only 3 Stalkers remaining. Mothership core on the way back up, but there isn't even a pylon nearby right now, as we're going to be seeing that Mothership core going to get hit by a Widowmine to begin with. One overcharge to the south side will pick off a medevac, but units just continue to reinforce right now for Time. He's going to pick off the natural expansion, and then he just pulls back a little bit, lets the Widowmine do a bit more damage. The Stalker's still taking damage here. Finally, the Cyclone falls. The Mothership core goes down again. A pylon falls here as well. At the same time, some actual damage across the map. Sorry for that, we missed it, but a few SCVs have gone down to some adept pressure. But I mean, at the same time, losing a natural expansion, continuing to lose Stalkers over here is definitely not looking pretty for Jieshi. Although he still does hold a worker lead, he still does have that nat 3rd base up for himself. The reinforcements still coming across the map. He needs to get that Warp Prism in play again. He needs to get some more adepts coming in here very shortly. Otherwise, he's going to find himself in a little bit of trouble, because he needs to do something across the map to make for the damage he's taking. He's starting to clean out these Widow Mines, which is something good as well. A single force field to try and help himself out. Stalker's blinking backwards once again. Probes once more pulled into this just to try and help push this back. And the Widow Mine picks off a good chunk of workers there. 7 probes fall. As we see Time again just pulling back here slightly, just waiting to regather himself before going in once again. Another adept warps in from the Warp Prism, which has been targeted down right now by a Marine or 2. These 2 adepts come in, and there's a couple of Marauders to help clean this out. Another Mule dropping down, and in general just reinforcements coming in. If he gets rid of this Warp Prism, then we will be seeing the aggression from Jieshi kind of being put to a halt for a while, and we'll see Time will have a chance to regather himself and maybe go for another push across the map. He sits 40 supply ahead right now, a significant lead from the damage he's set up for himself. He is behind an armor upgrade, but he's definitely done the damage to justify being behind an armor upgrade. He's definitely done the damage to justify having been on 2 bases himself for so long here. As we're going to be seeing those Marines and Marauders from Time joining up towards the center of the map. A couple of workers going down again. That Warp Prism coming straight back into play. A few units left over here though this time. We're going to see him trying again to target down the Warp Prism. SCVs pull away as the Widow Mines get ready to go off. Trying to clean up these adepts, but not successful just yet. So more workers going down as Time thinks about pushing across the map still. In fact, Time is still really struggling to kind of defend against these adepts over on this side of the map. An adept or 2 over towards the natural as well. Liberator's coming in now. Will be able to chase down that Warp Prism, which is huge. As we see, no, he missed the force field on the ramp. He had another sentry, but he didn't get a force field off of it before it got killed. And there's more SCVs fall across. I think the real story is over here. This Bioforce starting to make its way through these Zealots. Although that being said, the +1 armor upgrade coming into play here a little bit as well. As we see these units still trading quite well actually for Jieshi. He's holding this off. He will defend. He'll push this back, and the blink forwards tries to get a medevac, just doesn't quite have enough. And we're seeing those medevacs pulling back towards the center. 2 more medevacs here, you have to be careful too, as the blink forwards is still not going to get a medevac, really. Well, that's just unfortunate. They run out of boosts now. A single Marauder comes forward to try and protect the Liberators as well. Try and protect these medevacs, so many of them so low. So unfortunate that Jieshi just couldn't quite finish any of those off. As he still mines to win his third base, he did set back up onto his natural expansion too. But now those Liberators, they did get rid of that Warpism. They managed to pick it off here. And so without that Warpism across the map, finally, Time has the opportunity now to focus just on his attack and bring his units over here, focus on being aggressive. Both players stuck on 1-1 upgrade, so that's not going to be a way in which Jieshi finds himself at an advantage. He's down on army supply. It's going to be a difficult hold. As we see the stim up, immediately just going to target down the pile, and the Liberators going to come into play as well. The Widow Mines are there, ready to go off on any adepts which come too far forwards here, and that will just be what Time finds himself stepping back in towards those Widow Mines to get those shots in, to help him deal with the adepts. GG. Very serious. To the bottom right hand side is going to be our red Protoss player from Riot Esports. Let's see it, guys. If you want to see a game number 3, or if you're just supporting this guy, it is going to be Jieshi. And to the top left, our blue Terran player from X Team, the 16-year-old Chinese player, is going to be Time. Alright, so as we set up into this second game of the best of 3, this apparently pronounced Jieshi. Jieshi? Like that? I'm not gonna lie, Jumbozois, or Jumbozois. I'm not gonna get it. I was Jumbozois, sorry. Murdering your name now as well. I'm not gonna be able to change it today. It's gonna take me a while to change it. So, I'm gonna stick with Jieshi. You can be triggered by it. I apologize in advance for murdering his name. But if I try and change it, it's just not going to happen. I'm going to start like struggling to say. I'm going to have to learn it afterwards. Where's this event taking place? In Shanghai. Convenient that it took place straight after IEM, so that a lot of the players were already there. As we are going to be seeing a Nexus coming down early out of our Protoss player. On the Terran side of things, well, he actually opens up Rax Gas, but he's not going to be going for a Reaper or a Reactor, so he is going to still go for a fairly fast factory here. After his expansion, as we see, ooh, a little bit of a dance with this probe, and the SCV. The SCV is very low, but he's running towards the Marine, which will pop out and will keep him safe here. Last shot goes down, SCV survives. Well, recovered by Time, because that was a little bit messy there. Very nearly lost that SCV to the probe of his opponent. So Command Center on the way, we'll see a Reactor coming up afterwards. So just one Marine to actually help clean out the early kind of probe then. And I imagine it will still be the fast factory sometime soon. Maybe even proxied across the map. Now, this is actually a proxy location for a starport usually that we see. Although the factory does work as well. This is kind of funny. Like, Time is actually mirroring the exact builds that Marine Lord used to beat Jieshi just in the previous series, back in the second series of the day. So actually, this is kind of interesting. Time is going to go for that proxy factory, proxy starport. It's the exact same builds that Marine Lord used. Exact same build in game 1, exact same build in game 2. It's like a repeat of the series, just with different Terran player. Very interesting. So, I'm going to be seeing this Adept just moving through the center of the map right now from our Protoss. He's going to be looking to get some information with this. He drops his Robo back at home. Similar build to what we've seen so far. If we see that Twilight and the Blink again, then he really isn't going to be changing anything else for the, well, 4th time in a row in the PVT now. As we see that Widow Mine starting, the starport is on the way as well. And there's that Twilight Council on the way. So, Twilight on the way up, we'll see that Blink coming into play very shortly. There's the Widow Mine being made, as we have a few Marines starting to come out here. So, a few Marines on the way out. You'll see that Adept starting to take a little bit of damage. And then just starts to back away. And that Adept just going to shade forwards. So, Adept shading on forwards. We're just going to be seeing the depot being lowered. And a command center finishing up. Mule ready to drop down. All eyes on this factory in the starport, really. But look at this. The Adept going to come over here. And we're going to see Jieshi. He's not going to be caught off guard by this once again. He's going to come in. This Widowmine has to burrow right now. Otherwise, he is going to get picked off. So he is going to be able to burrow. And that, I mean, what do you though? I mean, taking some damage on the Widowmine means it's low in health, and that means it's less likely to survive the initial kind of shots of his opponent when it comes into attack. So this is found here, and Proxy Factory's Proxy Starport does not look to be getting off to the best of starts here. Right away, as we see those Widowmines on Burrowing getting ready to jump into the medevac. And there they go. So, I mean, the thing is though, Jieshi sees this coming. He's got a Mothership Core very well prepared, ready for drop that overcharge on the natural expansion. There it is. You see the Widowmines will get over here, and the probes actually do pull together to try and fight against the mines for now. You see one mine going to go off. The other mine going to move a little bit further forwards. Observer coming in as well. And we're going to see, oh, the Observer goes down to the Widowmine splash. I was going to say that might actually happen there. As we're going to be seeing these Marines coming across too, and that Adept actually going to be caught in a little bit of a corner. Widowmine, if it burrows, might catch the Adept still, and that Adept will go down. So Adept falls Liberator now on the way as well. And without an Observer out, these two Widowmines still sat in the natural expansion. Medevac is going to come back over, spots the third base building. The Marines will move their way over there, cancel on the third base already. As this next Widowmine is going to get some damage done. It's going to go off into the workers, 3 workers killed. And in the end, Time does actually still end up finding himself some damage against Jieshi here early on. First Liberator comes in as well, going to set up here. Pylon not in location to defend this just yet. So some lost mining time now happening. As we see, Terran player coming in towards the upper left-hand side. So painful start once again from Jieshi here as he's not mining right now, and again he falls behind early in the PVT, and this is his problem time after time where he just seems to get off to such a bad start and then he can't find a way back into this. Now we are going to see Time, he's starting to build Cyclones from this factory on the right hand side of the map, so whether, I mean, it looks as though he wants to send it back home defensively rather than being aggressive with it. I mean, back at home, in other news, he's got double racks added on, so he's going up to 3 racks. He's got Stim already started, and I imagine Combat Shields will start up as well here sometime soon. So I imagine Combat Shields will start, and I mean, it's just going to be Jieshi sort of set up into a very aggressive setup. Time's setting up aggressively to kind of go attack here in the near future. We do see the factory in the starboard actually just going to relocate very nearby, as we see another Liberator in position. This one's only picked up 1 kill, and it was just a Stalker. There was only, I think, 1 Stalker going down there, although the Blink Micro might have saved all of them. I might have just misseen it. Starport going to land again to get a medevac out, another Widowmine building too. As again, we just see these Marines Marauders on the way. Now, Marine Lord did actually build a second starport for himself back at home, but that's not going to be the case here. We see 4th and 5th racks again, single engineering bay again, and once more, Time sets up into a very aggressive 5 racks, 2 base playstyle. As these Stalkers coming across the map, I mean, it's been so long since they got Blink, it's been so long that he's been waiting to kind of get across here, that realistically, these Marines and Marauders are not going to have any issue at all dealing with these Stalkers unless they blink up into the main while the Terran is far out of position here in the center of the map, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Well, this could be a big turning point of this game. Blinks up, kills a reactor. As he realizes there isn't any units coming in, he'll kill off Combat Shields. And if he can get it, Stim as well would be huge. I mean, he doesn't know whether that's Stim or Combat Shields just yet. It is only Combat Shields. I mean, again, Stim would be the much better kill. At the same time, though, the Stalkers are now out of position to deal with this counter-attack from Time. So Time through the center of the map is going to come in. Double Foot and Overcharge popped here straight away. Does Time want to fight on into that? He doesn't have Stim yet, so he's going to wait a little while longer. 17 workers killed, so he has to do something. And that might very well just be the problem, that he does have to do something, otherwise he's going to be in a lot of trouble. As we see him reinforcing with this back at home, he's 16 workers behind. Not pretty, as we see him getting ready to go. There's the Stim in, he'll come in, he'll target down. 1 pylon, 2 pylons will go down almost straight away here. The overcharge doesn't do anything. The Mothership Core goes down before more energy comes up on it. And so he has time with his counterattack to get something done. The Widowmines are doing so much damage onto the Stalkers right from the get-go. And Jieshi, for all the damage he's just done, he's just taken so much more. Not only does he lose a mineral line, he loses his army. And with that, I think this is going to be Time taking the 2-0, and I think Jieshi is going to be the first player we see dropping out of this tournament, taking home no prize money at all. Remember, if you win just 1 game, then you get yourself at least $400, and that's happened to all the players that have gone out in last place of the group so far. But Time doesn't let Jieshi take a single map here today, and he's going to take